All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are in his house. We are 18 minutes late. It is 18 minutes past the hour. Don't hold it to my hand, hold it to my heart. Because you know I mean well. No, because I mean well. You hold it to, my hand did it. My hand did it. My heart didn't want it. My heart wanted to be live right at noon, but my hand was like, bruh, you busy. You got something important that you got to get done and you can't do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're coming on, good afternoon. This is the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Please do me a favor. Even though I'm late, I want you to jump in, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know Prophet Ramon, the Ramon Preston Show and the squad. They late, but they live right here on the Ramon Preston Show. Today is Thursday and June 10th. And we are excited about this whole discussion we've been having all week, and I want to jump right into it. But please, before we do, could you do me a favor? Hit the like button, hit the share button. If you have anybody that you know needs to learn more about starting, structuring, and scaling their businesses, ministries, income streams, or wealth building dreams, I want you to tag them so they can jump on and be a part of this discussion we're having today. Also, drop the name of the city in the comments, okay? Whatever city you're watching us from, please drop the name of that city in the comments. We want to know what city you're watching from. We want to give a shout out to all of our Blueprint Game Plan members. Those of you that are already on our university training platform, we want to give you a shout out. For those of you that are members and clients in our one-year business coaching program, shout out to you. For all of you that are just faithful followers, you're supporters, you always engage, you always give us feedback. You always continue to support everything that we provide on these social media platforms. Our tribe, you're part of our tribe, you're part of our family. Thank you. We appreciate you. Shout out to you. For those of you that don't know, my name is Ramon Preston. I'm the host of the Ramon Preston Show. And every Monday through Friday, we come to you giving you information, sharing with you information, teaching you, and literally using this platform to train you on how to properly start, structure, and scale your businesses, ministries, income streams, and wealth building dreams. This is what we specialize in as a company. It is a extension of and a reflection of our core competencies as a company, whether it's through our consulting firm, our coaching program, or our online educational virtual training platform. Everything that we share with you and we give to you on a daily basis is coming from our organization as a whole through consulting, coaching, and training. And so we're excited because this week we've been basically discussing principles and practices from the series centered around the power of business systems. So this is part 4. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday was parts 1, 2, and 3. This is part 4. We're going to end this series tomorrow in part 5. And so if you're excited about implementing business systems in your business, if you're excited about starting or restarting, structuring or restructuring, or maybe just scaling your organization, I'm going to be the one to tell you if you haven't heard it, or just to remind you if you already heard it. Everything you're going to do is going to revolve around systems. The world revolves around systems. This planet is a part of a solar system. And so this week we have explained in great detail and depth the analogy for the word system, which the analogy describes things that save you stress, time, energy, and money. That's the analogy of a system. So when you think about a system, think about something or things that save you stress, time, energy, and money. And one of the most valuable things that save you stress, time, energy, and money is a thing called a business system. a business system. Now, we may traditionally know a business system as a business, whether it's an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, for-profit, or whether it's a nonprofit 501c3 organization. We still have to create a business system in order for those for-profit and or nonprofit entities to be efficient, effective, and successful. And so if what I hold is true, that systems are the acronym of things that save you stress, time, energy, and money, and if it holds true that one of the most valuable systems in the world is a business system, then what exactly is a business system? Well, I define and describe a business system as a legal entity or multiple legal entities, whether it's a ministry conglomerate or business conglomerate. But let's just simplify it and say my definition and description of a business system is a legal entity that comprises of people, it comprises of processes, and it comprises of products that work together cohesively to make exchanges in the marketplace for a profit and for a purpose that leads to a profit. And so if you understand that description of a business system, then the description itself, it actually highlights the most important components of a business system. And so we've been breaking these components down because if a business system is a legal entity, if a business system is a legal entity comprising of B, people, comprising of C, processes, comprising of D, products that are introduced into the market, E, to make exchanges for a profit and for a purpose that leads to a profit, then in order for you to really understand and have an effective, efficient, successful business system, then you need all of those components that make up the definition and the description of a business system. I hope I ain't talking too fast. I'm just trying to give you a brief overview to bring you up to where we are today. And so a business system is made up of all of these components. Number one, a legal entity. We've already talked about that. So if you're going to have a business system, the first thing you got to have is the proper legal entity. This is why we specialize in providing solutions to help people structure the right legal entity and the right organizational infrastructure so that when they get into these other components or systems, that they will all work cohesively together. So a business system is, number one, a legal entity. Number two, a business system comprises of a legal entity that houses people. Yesterday, we talked about the most important people or the most valuable people you need in a business system, which are the C-level positions or the C-level roles, or more properly speaking, the corporate executive roles. Now, even if you don't have these people, I focus on the top 5 corporate executive roles. But even if you don't have these top 5 people, you still got to understand it. You still got to have a place and a space in your business system for these roles so that you can at least know what are the most valuable things you need to be doing in your business as a solopreneur, in your business as an independent contractor, in your business as a network marketer, in your business as a freelancer, in your business as a small business owner. Well, the most important things or the most valuable roles that you and others need to play are the roles of the top 5 corporate executive positions. Those top 5 corporate executive positions are, number 1, CEO, number 2, CSO, that's the Chief Executive Officer, Chief Sales Officer, number 3, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, number 4, CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and then number 5, COO, Chief Operations Officer. Now again, these 5 roles, you're not filling them with people because you probably can't afford it. But you still need to know what those roles are and where those roles fit into this whole business system that you're creating, because it makes it more easier for you to stay concentrated and focus on what is most valuable for you to do. Because I'm telling you, I've done it for years. Those 5 roles are going to be played by you as the CEO when you're just getting started. You're going to be the CEO, you're going to be the CSO, the CMO, CFO, and COO. Trust me, you're going to be the main executive in your business. You're going to be the main salesperson. You're going to be the main marketer. You're going to be the financial accountant, and you're going to be the operational manager. You're going to do all 5 of them until you're in a position to employ people, whether they're staff that you're paying on payroll or whether they're people that you're subbing those services out, but you still need to know those roles. Now, I also explained to you that those 5 top corporate executive roles are directly connected to the top 5 corporate executive systems. Each of these roles have a system, if you see how that works. So you have your legal entity at the top, right? Under your legal entity, let's say you have at least the positions or the roles of the top 5 corporate executives. Under that, you're going to have the top 5 corporate executive systems. All right? So that means you're going to have an executive system for the CEO. That's if you're the boss, you need to have a system for yourself. There needs to be a system that complements what your position is. You're going to have another system for sales. This is going to complement you actually pushing your products and services. You're going to have a system for marketing. This is going to be a system to help get your attention and get your brand out there. You're going to have a system for your financial department or your accounting. This is going to help you track your income and expenses. And then you're going to have a system for your operations. This is going to be an administrative system. Even if you don't have the people in those 5 roles, you still want to know what those 5 roles are, position them in your infrastructure, and then connect them to the top 5 business systems or corporate executive systems. If you can just picture what I'm walking you through right now, verbally, you can see how it's going to simplify this business model that you're building. See, a lot of people who are building businesses and starting ministries, they don't have that type of infrastructure. They don't have the concept in stone, and so they way down at the bottom trying to deal with things that are not even valuable to the efficiency and the effectiveness and the success of their business. This is why when I consult people, coach people, train people, it's always from the top down, not from the bottom up, because your business infrastructure needs to be built that way, not from the bottom up. I think that's the wrong way to build a business system and truly to build a business model. That's why a lot of people who have businesses, they don't have the right systems, or the systems that they have are right, but they're not working, and they don't have the right model because of how they're building the infrastructure. You know, there's an old adage that we used to use all the time, and people still use it within the church. And the adage is this: if you build it, the people come. Now in the church, when you hear someone use that adage, they're talking about a church building. If you build the sanctuary, if you build the church, if you build the building, the members of the church will come. The people who want to gravitate to your ministry will come. Well, I took that and put a remix on it with regard to business, with regard to infrastructure, because if you build the model, if you build the infrastructure like I'm talking about, the people will come, not necessarily the human people, but the ideas will come, the creativity will come, the capability of you being able to stay concentrated and focused on what you need to do with this business. That is going to come because you've built the house for it to be concentrated, for it to actually make sense. It's similar to you walking into a house and the house is bare. Okay, there are no rooms in it. There are no walls up. There's no electricity. It's just a house, just a big old house. So somebody tell you, I want you to come look at my house. I got 10,000 square feet in my house. It's 3 floors. And then when you walk in the door, there are no walls. There's no furniture. The lights ain't on. You're using a flashlight. If you got to pee, you got to go outside because the plumbing ain't working. And you thinking like, wow, it's a big house. It's 10,000 square feet. But there's no what? There's no structure to it. There are no systems built in it. So I can't concentrate on certain valuable assets or things that make this 10,000 square foot house look amazing. Why? Because somebody didn't build it out. Somebody didn't take the rest of the elements or components and build it out. And so you have the top five corporate executive roles. Then you have the top 5 corporate executive systems. Once you have those top 5 corporate executive systems, you have now accomplished what? The first 2 of almost 3 of the components that make up a business system. You have a business entity, that's a legal entity. Then you have the people. You have the people. You have the staff. Even if you don't have real people, you still have the roles. You know where they fit, or you know where that particular division of your ministry or department of your business, you know where it starts at. And then once you have the top roles, now you're able to build out the top systems, the executive system, the sales system, the marketing system, the financial system, and then the operation system. Now, what is the next component to a business system? The processes. Because remember, a business system is a legal entity comprising of what? People, that's the staff, that would be the C-level roles and spaces with the systems. But then it also comprises of processes, which are smaller, more practical or tactical systems. And a business system is a legal entity that comprises of products and services. That ultimately make exchanges in the marketplace. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about the exchanges in the marketplace. I'll talk about that. Today, I'll take a few minutes to talk about the 2 components of processes and products and services. Hopefully, I have not rushed through this overview and confused you. If for some reason you are confused with what I've shared with you so far, feel free to just reach out to us today. The information that you can reach us is in the comments. It can be through our website, of course, RamonPreston.com. That's our main web portal. That's the Rome of our company. That one web portal will take you to every other division of our company, every other platform that we have. But of course, you can also just reach out to us by calling or texting. If you want to know more information about systems or how you can integrate systems into your business or your ministry, or you just need some assistance in properly starting or structuring or even scaling whatever the business or business systems or ministry systems that you have, feel free to just text more. Text the word more. Text the word more. If we get the text, we know you're looking for more information. Text the word more to 404-478-7213. I'm always asking people to text words. Every day I got a new word. Whether it's blueprint, coaching, consulting, I'm ready. Today I want you to text the word more. If you just need more, then that tells me that you were on the show today, Thursday, June 10th, and you heard enough to know that you needed more information, because I really want you to succeed. I want you to win. I want your business or your ministry, I want it to grow. I want it to excel. And I know in order for all those things to happen, guess what? You have to have what? You have to have more. You have to have more information. You have to have more training. And you have to have more systems and structures in order for your products and services to actually be able to go into the marketplace and make exchanges. So today, I'll talk about the components of processes and the components of products. All right. And by the way, if you have any questions, you can take the number that we have in the comments, and you can actually call me while we're live, and we can answer your question live on the show. That's if you have any questions. If you have comments, please just drop the comments in the comment section. If you have feedback, give me some feedback on what you think about my version, my definition, my description of a business system. I believe a business system is, number one, a legal entity, right? Or an organizational enterprise of for-profit and non-profit legal entities. So either way, a business system begins with a legal entity. And it is a legal entity comprising of component number one, what? People or staff. When I say people and staff, what am I referring to? I'm not referring to volunteers. I'm not referring to certain departments within your organizational enterprise. I'm referring to the top 5 corporate executive roles that at some point people will assume. Even if you don't initially hire people for those roles, you want to know what those roles are, and it makes it easier for you to build out an infrastructure or a business model with each of those. Like, for example, if one of your top 5 corporate executive roles is the COO, the Chief Operations Officer, and that role is specifically speaking to administration. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, maybe you're not in a position to hire a Chief Operations Officer. Maybe you're not in a position to hire an executive administrator. Okay, but maybe you're in a position to hire a secretary or a virtual assistant who could help you with smaller tasks that maybe you don't want to do, or you don't want your personal assistant or somebody who's very close to you in your office doing for you. Then that would still be in the vein or one of the streams that came from that top 5 executive corporate role. But at least you can keep that function of what that virtual assistant is doing. You can keep it concentrated to that one channel, that goes up to the main position. When you do it like that, you ain't scrambled, because a lot of times you will hire people that really don't even fit a certain role. They don't even fit into the model of your business, and you around here trying to hire people that don't even work. And they're good people. They play very good roles. And I know this for both nonprofit and for-profit organizations, because I've hired the wrong people in both. But a lot of times I hired the right people. They just had to develop the capability of understanding the role that I hired them for. But it was easier for them to understand it because I had these top executive roles and systems in place, at least in my mind, so that I could properly position that volunteer or that person that I outsource certain products and services or certain work to. So we want to focus on today the process component and the product component. So how do you focus on the process component? Let's take a moment and look at that, because processes or subsystems should be directly connected to your top 5 corporate executive systems. Okay? So again, for example, one of my CEO executive systems should have some type of process or subsystem to make my job as a CEO better. I'm giving y'all some real game. I'm giving y'all stuff that even if you sat in some business classes, yeah, you probably didn't hear this kind of language. So I have a personal assistant. Now, my personal assistant is not under the category of the CSO. Why? Because that's not a sales department. or the CMO, that's not a marketing department, or the CFO, that's not a financial department, or the COO, that's not an operations department. She's under the umbrella of the CEO because she's making my role as the chief executive officer better. That's what a personal assistant does. They make the CEO or the boss's job much better, which means what she does on a daily basis helps to magnify my position and my role. But if I didn't know that, I'll have you over there on QuickBooks. You see what I'm saying? But that should be a financial role. I got you on QuickBooks and I'm over here doing work that you should have been doing as a personal assistant, but you got to put, you doing QuickBooks. You know what I mean? Now you still do a little bit of everything with me because a lot of these things we don't have corporate executives in our company doing yet. And it's not that we can't afford them, but we can't afford them. We can't hire those types of people, but I just feel like for me as a CEO, I'm not going to hire all of these people in all these roles and I don't have a successful sales system. That's good. Because everything should revolve around sales. That's it. First of all, you need me. You need the CEO. For me, the next one is the CSO and the CMO. So I'm operating in all those roles because I'm the chief executive officer, but guess what? I'll make a sale in a New York minute, in a Buckhead minute. I'll make a sale just like that. But guess what? A Miami minute. But guess what I'm also going to do? I'm also going to be the chief marketing officer because I'll brand myself and I'll brand my company and I'll be the ambassador for my business. I'll be the chief financial officer because I know QuickBooks probably better than some of the people I might hire to do QuickBooks, or at least the strategies that QuickBooks is being used to implement and integrate into my business. When it comes to operations, there are certain day-to-day operations that I might not do, which my wife is technically the COO of our company. So we do have a chief operations officer who deals directly with the administrative logistics of the day-to-day managing of our company. But for example, if you have these top 5 corporate executive roles, those corporate executive roles should be connected to corporate executive systems, and those corporate executive systems should link to processes that help make those executive systems and those executive roles work better. All right, so I just gave you an example. I'm the CEO. That's a top executive role, right? Okay. As a top executive, I need an executive system, which means I need some type of operation going on for me as a CEO to make my job better, to make what I do more efficient. So one of the things that I had to integrate was someone who could personally assist me on an executive level, on a corporate level, somebody who can kind of roll with me and flow with me and just be as elusive as I need them to be to fit that criteria. Now with that, we need processes, which means there needs to be a process. So, example A, if I have a meeting or an appointment, I shouldn't be around here setting the meeting and the appointment up, should I? If I'm a CEO with an executive system that has certain executive processes connected to that system, if I have a person that's there, that person should be able to do it, but then they need to do it in an efficient way. How are they going to do it in an efficient way? They got to do it with a process. What's the first process? Let me get the information. Once they get the information, let me put that information in our system, whether it's a calendar, whether it's a schedule, whether it's the CRM, whether it's a database. Once I put that in there, let me schedule the meeting. Let me make sure the time and everything. All of this is a part of a what? Not necessarily a system, but a part of a process. So now you got to think about what is the process of me going to a meeting as a CEO? What is the process of me developing a new product or service? What is the process of me entertaining some prospect or an opportunity that could be in the future? All of those processes have to be linked and interconnected to that executive system, which should ideally be connected to a corporate executive. And again, if it's just you, you can't tell me, oh, I ain't gonna be able to do all that. No, you don't want to do all that. You don't want to do all that. You cannot give somebody like me a lame excuse, and you can't say, yeah, but you just smart, you know it, you understand it. Yeah, but there was a time I didn't know none of it. As a matter of fact, if you're listening to somebody like me, you getting it from somebody who didn't have it, who had to figure it out and learn it all himself. So now you got it a little easier, but you can't give me no excuse and say, no, I can't be a CEO, CSO, CMO, CFO, and COO all at the same time. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because even though I have people helping me with all five, guess what? I still run them. I still lead them. I'm still the executive over all of them. In each one of those, I have people that help me sell. I have sales systems that I use. I have a marketing consultant specifically. We have a marketing firm that we work with that they're almost like full time on our team. We have marketing systems. We have financial consultants. We have tax strategists, CPAs. We have people who help us with the secretarial side of some of our accounting work. And I have a full-time COO as well. And guess what? I still oversee all five of those roles / systems / processes. I want you to see where the process component fits in at. We got a question?
It's kind of like a comment. So, great information. Most large business have these roles, but I've never been given info as to how and why their systems exist. I'm learning to incorporate it in my business to help get success.
That's good. That was a good comment. Someone was on YouTube was just making a comment about them knowing that a lot of these systems that they're hearing about today are systems that they see larger corporations have, where there are people who fill those roles in larger corporations, but they're now able to understand that these roles still need to be filled. Those slots need to be created and filled even in a small business, even when you're a solopreneur. Because again, think about it. For those of you that are watching me today, you are one individual. But think about how many components of your one being that you have. Okay, so I'm a man, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm a brother, I'm a nephew, I'm a cousin, I'm a homie. I mean, I'm a counselor, so I have multiple components or multiple functions that make up my one being. So I know it is possible because, again, to some extent, even though I'm not doing a lot of the day-to-day tactical things in areas of my business that are connected to processes and systems that go up to the top 5 corporate executive roles, even though I'm not doing it, however, I still understand them and I still oversee them. Because I can never let them get away from me so far that I'm unable to grasp them and to keep them integrated into my overall business system. And so again, the third component of a business system is processes. I want to give y'all a definition for processes because I know we're using the word systems, but again, the systems I want you to look at as the bigger engines that your business is using to keep it moving on an executive level. But under that should be processes. So I want you to hear what processes is defined as in the dictionary. A process is defined as a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. A process is also defined as a series of of mechanical operations in order to change something or preserve something. So you see how that looks? So the processes are like the step-by-step practices that you're going to develop, because you don't start out with some of them, okay? They're going to be step-by-step practices. And if you have these step-by-step practices, when something needs to change or be added or be subtracted, it's going to make it easier for you to create a better system if you can see it from a process level, if you can see it from a tactical level. Like today, I didn't get on here till what, 12:18? I was 18 minutes late today, and I'm not going to get into details, but here's why I was that late today. Because I was on a conference call / virtual demo session for 3.5 hours, like literally since 8 something this morning all the way up until 11, I think it was 11:45 when I hung up and logged off the computer. It was 11:45 a.m. So for like 3.5 hours, I was going through this whole entire process because we're building out a new system for our company, right? Yeah. Which this new system is for another position. Yeah. Someone else will need to be hired to run that system. Yeah. But if we didn't have certain processes that we saw on a tactical level, on a process level, if we didn't have certain process that we saw were broken, we wouldn't have knew what kind of system we needed. But me and my wife and my personal assistant, we do these practices every day, and we realize, oh, you know what? This process is broken, or it's just too slow, or it's just taking up too much time. So what would be the best process? Oh, once we figure out what the best process is, now we say, oh, let's identify with a system that could help us in that process. And this one system that we just integrated into our business is a system that's going to take time basically give me and my whole team more time to do what they're supposed to be doing. But how did we figure out the system part? We figured out the system part because of the process. All right? So that's the third component of a business system, processes. So you got to have processes. Some of you want to scale your business. I'm learning this on a multi-million-dollar level. So what I'm saying to some of you who might just be trying to get past 5 or 6 figures, I know it works. The reason why I know it works because, hey, I really stay true to this. I can't take you where I haven't gone. I can't take you where I haven't gone. But I can honestly say I know the processes and the systems that can take you to being $1 million business. Because I've gone there. I'm there. Okay? Which means I know the processes and the systems that can take you to a multiple 6-figure business or just a single 6-figure business. I know the process that can take you into high 5-figure business because I've been through those stages and phases in business, and I know what processes and systems that work. And so now I'm in the process of building systems to have a 8 and 9 and 10-figure business. And guess what I'm learning? All the processes and the systems I used, they no longer work. It's amazing because you hear people say that when they say it, and you like, yeah, I think this will work because this what I got is good. Truth is, it will not work as you grow. And I'm learning that. And so what I'm saying to you on whatever level you're on, especially if you're under $1 million, what I'm saying to you, I know works. I know without a doubt it works. I mean, come on, I'm working it, so I know it works. So I want you to really pay attention to what I'm saying. So your processes are your daily tactics or practices. So everything that you're doing, I'm talking about when it comes to selling your products, when it comes to selling your services, because that's the next component, products and services. That's another system that you got to have in your business. But when it comes to getting there, you have to at least figure out the process. When we were consulting one of our coaching clients, Tuesday, That's what we covered. With her, we were covering her process. Like, what is my process for this service that I'm providing?
Yeah.
Once she figured out the process, what she said, oh, there it is, I got it. Yeah, that's the process. She was already close to it. She just needed a few areas polished and fine-tuned. But now she has a process, because you can't scale. You cannot scale your business system if you don't have systems and processes that move fast enough so that when you introduce products and services, you can push them into the market and make exchanges enough to scale you to another tax bracket.
Yeah.
So the third component is processes. And when I say processes, I'm talking about like daily practices. These processes are gonna like connect you to not just your CRM. These processes are gonna connect you to not just your website. These processes are gonna connect you to not just your email marketing campaign or your text messaging capabilities or how you take phone calls in, and how these tactics and practices are gonna take you to like, what is the process? And so in order for you to figure out those processes, you got to at least be in the game. You got to at least be working something, and then you figure out what works. And I'm telling you, as you grow, a lot of the stuff that worked at 70,000 or 20,000 ain't gonna work at 260,000. A lot of things that work at 260 ain't gonna work at 450. Things that work at 450 ain't gonna work at $1 million. And I'm learning things that work at $1 million company, they don't work at a $10 million company. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know it was that big of a difference. But it's huge. It's a quote unquote, no pun intended, it's a huge process. So that's the third component, process. And then the next component is products. Because when you have your legal entity, right? Under your legal entity, you have your top 5 corporate executive roles. Under your top 5 corporate executive roles, you need your top 5 corporate executive systems. You need the biggest system for the executive officer, the biggest system for the sales officer or department, the biggest system for the marketing, the biggest system for the financial accounting, and the biggest system for operations and administration. Even if you don't have the people there, you just want those positions, those roles, and the type of systems that would work. Once you figure out those systems, now you want to create processes for each one. What is the administrative process? What is the accounting process? What is the attention process? What is the advancing process? What is the acceleration process? Now I want to figure out what are the best processes to bring data, to bring deals, to bring clients, to bring exposure, to bring people, places, and things up to the system, right? That comes up to the corporate role that ultimately pushes the top line revenue higher so that the business entity at the top can actually survive. Oh my God, I'm giving y'all game now. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. If you have any questions, drop the questions in the comments. I can't believe it's 1 o'clock already. Wow, I was 15 minutes, almost 20 minutes late.
An hour late. Almost dead.
I walked in the office, my personal assistant was like, I guess we're gonna go to 1 o'clock, huh?
Right.
Yeah, welcome to Ramon Preston Show. We now host a 1 o'clock show.
Yes.
No longer a 12 o'clock show. But guess what? I needed that. We've been working on this system for a couple months. And so I had to go ahead and get that locked in, because I love systems. I'm a system person. Like anything I do, I'm always thinking about what system I can implement and incorporate with that thing that I want to do, so that once I do it the one time, I don't have to redo it unless or until I find a better system. But at least I can keep it moving. I don't have to keep stopping and stalling. And so the next component that we talked about was the component of products. Now, for those of you that have products, you have services, Your products and services need to connect to processes, okay? So if you got a t-shirt, how are you going to best sell the t-shirt? Think about it. So before we launched our online store, which has been over a year since we launched it, for a couple years prior to launching our online store, which only sells apparel. This is just an apparel store. It sells like shirts and hats, and what else do we sell on there? Aprons, you know, for my grandma and mama brand. You know, we got a couple different brands on there. We got like the Ramon Preston signature items. Yeah, we got mugs and tumblers and just like small items that continue to promote our brand. They're like promotional items, basically. But I'm just showing you an example. Before we launched the online store for some of our promotional brands, right? We had people asking us about a Next Level shirt. We had people asking us, I got one of the hats on today because I'm having a bad hair day. So I got one of my signature RP brand hats on, right? Okay, we had people asking us about certain brand items that we use for promotional purposes. But the problem was we didn't have a good enough process that was connected to a good enough system for us to actually provide these promotional products. Meaning that I didn't want to have a whole lot of inventory sitting in a garage or storage. I didn't want to be around here like I was at some point with 10 boxes in my trunk full of books and full of shirts that nobody ain't buying, full of pencils and mugs that I'm just giving away, because that means I had a broken what? System, because I probably didn't have a successful what? Process. Once we decided what the process needed to be that could continue to make it efficient and effective and successful, so I wouldn't be bogged down like literally folding shirts to mail them out. I'm supposed to be a CEO and I'm around here folding shirts, boxing mugs, $20 mugs. A $20 mug ain't gonna keep my business growing. If I run my business and I'm depending on like $15 books or $20 mugs, my wife, my personal assistant, my son, everybody we work with, everybody be trying to sell mugs and books. Because I would need like tens of thousands of those jokers sold every month just to keep my business going. So I can't build my business model around that. But once we identified with what type of process that we needed to connect that product to, and what type of system we needed to house the processes and the products, guess what? We created the online store. And now the online store doesn't require us to have inventory. You could go to RamonPrestonBrands.com right now. That's a shameless plug, ain't it? I really don't care if you buy some of those promotional products, because that ain't where my business lies. That ain't gonna make or break me. However, just for you to see what I'm talking about so you can know I'm telling the truth, go to RamonPrestonBrands.com. Go to RamonPrestonBrands.com. The link is gonna be in the comments. Click the link to RamonPrestonBrands.com, and any of the items that you see, these are promotional items that we use to reflect a part of our brand or a part of our company or our organization that is near and dear to me, that is sentimental to me, whether it's my signature items, whether it's my Next Level items, or whether it's my J.C. Clancy items for my mom and grandma. These are just sentimental, emotional, personal, signature items that reflect something about my mind because of something I believe, all right? So my point in bringing that up is, you can click on any of those items. You can choose your color. You can choose your design. You can choose your size, whatever you need. You can put it in the, add it to the cart, and you can purchase it. And guess what? Within a few days, you're gonna get it. But when you get it, you're not gonna get it from me slaving in a garage, boxing it up. That model works for some people. That model doesn't work for me, because I needed a process and a system that could house my products that would keep me free to build my business based on the model that I know my business needs to be successful. I'm gonna stop right there, y'all. I just gave y'all some game for free. Because some of y'all are struggling with products that you're trying to sell and even services that you're trying to sell and you're not selling them when you should connect those products and services to a better process, maybe to a better person, to a better system. How many times do I tell you that? Like, if some people just knew how to connect with other people, their businesses would blow up. Their businesses would blow up. See, I don't mind, and I'm honest with that. I have certain divisions in our business, like I told you. If a multi-million-dollar company came to me and said, we want to buy that division from you and the intellectual property of your division, and we just want you to stay on for maybe 3 years as the brand ambassador, but we want to own it. If that money right, I'll sell it. I don't care. I'll sell it. Because I'm just building businesses. I'm taking my ideas. If somebody can give me a lift and make my business go further, or if they say, you know what, we don't want to buy, we just want to be partners with you and we want to buy into your business. We want 30% of this business. I'll sell it. I ain't no sellout. I'm not compromising. I'm making an amazing business decision. And there are some business owners that should do that. Because you own 100% of nothing. Think about it. Think about that. If you own 100% of nothing, but you can sell 50% of it, and that 50% becomes something, I would rather own 50% of something than 100% of nothing. Seriously. Point blank period. So it's something you need to think about. All these principles and practices that I'm talking about right now, I teach in our online training program. I teach in our workshops. I teach in our masterminds. I teach in our boot camps. I teach in our coaching program to our coaching clients. I teach through our consulting business. I teach this because I know, especially most independent contractors or entrepreneurs or solopreneurs or network marketers or small business owners or ministers or church leaders and nonprofit organizational leaders, a lot of them or most of them don't know these principles and practices when it comes to succeeding in business. And that's a part of my assignment. So for those of you that feel like, you know what you said was enough for me to connect with you, I want you to reach out to me. We have a 1-year business coaching program. We have a 24-month payment plan that we offer with that 1-year business coaching program. I've been telling y'all for the last week and a half now, because we're 10 days into this month. I've been telling y'all I'm only extending that offer for the rest of this month. So once we take that offer off the table, you're not going to have that opportunity to be a part of a 1-year business coaching program and have 24 months to pay it off, so that within the first year, you're going to learn so much and you're going to develop your business so much, you probably pay it off before the 24 months. There are people right now who paid it off before the year. You know why? Because they're making moves. They're learning more. They're understanding the game better. So I want you to reach out to me and take the number, the information that's in the comments. Reach out to me if you would like to be a part of our 1-year business coaching program. As a member of our business coaching program, we give you free access for 1 year to our entire Blueprint Game Plan. It is our 5-step wealth building system that provides online education and training for the most important aspects of financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business ownership, including how to start and structure your holding companies, real estate investing, and family legacy wealth building. You get that free for 1 entire year. So if you would like to connect with us, if you would like to know more about it, you can reach out to us, and you can click the link to RamonPreston.com. And when you go to RamonPreston.com, you'll see where our coaching is, where our consulting is, where our Blueprint Game Plan is. If you click any of those menu options, it's going to show you what the prices are for our programs, what the benefits are and what our programs include from A to Z. So go there, inform yourself, and then feel free to reach out to us so we can further inform you and connect you to help you get to your financial next level. I truly believe, like I was reading an article yesterday. We getting ready to go. I'm just trying to drag a few minutes because I was almost 20 minutes late. But I just read an article this morning, right? And the article was reminding me of something that I know. The article was reminding me that over 1,700 millionaires are made every day in the United States of America. Can you believe that? Let me do the math again. 1,700 times 365. That's 620,500 people that will become millionaires, like literally millionaires in 2021. I'm in that number. But guess what? It's 620,500 people. There are a lot of people that's becoming millionaires in 2021. And guess what? Maybe half of that number already made it there. I'm sure the whole 620,500 ain't waiting until like December 31st to get there. A lot of people are moving in that direction. And guess what? Here's another thing that I learned about increasing your knowledge and scaling your business with that knowledge. Here's another thing I learned. You can take 7 or 8 or 9 months to prepare and to build it out. Let's say if you started today, some of you started a couple months ago with us. You could start today, and by August or September, it could be even October, you finally get in a groove where everything is flowing together, your systems are working. And before you even leave November, boom, something happens. Something magical or supernatural happens. And guess what? You go from 0 to 100,000 in a day. It can actually happen like that. I have seen certain things take place and transpire within my organization in a matter of days, weeks, and even months that literally blew my mind. And when I peeled back what that was, I realized that it was based on a set of products and services that were directly connected to a set of processes and systems that created those accelerated transactions that scaled my business and increased our revenue. So I want you to reach out to us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being a part of the Ramon Preston Show today. Tomorrow we're going to end this discussion and we're going to be focusing on the final component of a business system. We've covered the legal entity, we've covered people, we've covered processes, we've covered products. Tomorrow we're going to focus on making exchanges in the marketplace for a profit and for a purpose that leads to a profit. Love y'all.